So welcome, this is the Video Game Villains panel. This is talking about villains. Yep. What are your guys' favorite villains in video games? Just out of curiosity, just yell them out, I don't care. I'm hearing a lot of Ganondorf. I love King Dedede. He's only a villain in like 3 games. But, you know. Alright. Anyway, welcome. This is the Video Game Villains panel. Why we love to hate them. There will be a test at the end. Please pay attention. Please enjoy. For those of you who are like, who the heck is this guy? Why does he have the authority to tell me about villains? Here. This is me. Here, I run the YouTube channel Designing 4. I'm very attractive, as you can see. I'm a longtime internet lurker. Thank you. Theater manager. I'm the podcast host of something called Design Dorks. I have played Donkey Kong in every single game. Basically what I do is I break down a bunch of video game aspects, including villains, and I go, why do they matter? Why do we care? What matters about them? And I've never lost to Proton John anything important in my life. That has never happened. Not even once. If you have seen any of these stupid thumbnails, that was my fault, and I'm sorry. That said, if you enjoyed the video, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everyone coming in here. So, here we are talking about video game bad guys. So, how about what villains do you guys like? They say Gandalf. What do you guys like? Just say names. Bowser. Me too. Love Bowser. Great guy. So, why do we like them? They provide consistent obstacles to overcome. You know, it's a very simple thing, but the very basic premise and idea of this is a bad guy in my way. I gotta beat him up. He's very mean and bullies me in specific. You guys know that the reason that they had Zangief from Street Fighter as a villain in Wreck-It Ralph was because the director went, he was very mean to me specifically. To go in more, it's like some Russian who loves wrestling and Russia, and that's it. They represent a counterbalance to the themes of the game. Obviously, you have the protagonist. The villain represents the opposite of that. They're countering or sometimes playing in as they show those players getting growth in their emotional journey in the game or out. And that's the great part about it. Even simple villains like that jerk from Pokemon, who's your rival. He's a great villain. Why? Because he's with you every step of the way. And it's like, I got 40 Pokemon already. How many do you have? It's just great. If you're a loser, you're like, I want to meet this guy. He's a loser. Is that Kadabra? Oh God. Your team evokes immediate emotion because it requires a reaction from the player. You know, when you play a video game, we have an advantage compared to something like a film, because in a game, you have to respond to it if it happens. There is why there is the meme. Is that boss music playing? Do I hear boss music? You need to kill that when we have songs like this. Like Koopa's Road from Mario 64 is playing right now. And that evokes either an emotion of, let's go, or an emotion of, this is a little scary. I'm like 4 years old playing Mario 64 for the first time. What is this? They look really cool. They're allowed to look really cool. And they do. I'm not wrong. And they are allowed to break the rules of a game. We'll get back to that in a little bit. The villains are allowed to completely deconstruct games. So, let's talk about a more traditional villain and their differences from a video game baddie. Just to show, you know, what the difference is between a good villain and a good video game villain. So to give a very traditional villain their dues, it was so fun putting these kids together. So anyway, this is the Jongleur. Now, you may know him from being the Jongleur. So Joker remains a very consistent foil to Batman. He is allowed to be as strong or weak as necessary for a story to function. In Batman comics and Batman films, the Joker can be incredibly athletic and a good foil for him, or he can just simply be, a dude who is a clown and is very, very smart, who shows it in ways of comedy. He remains a character who pushes Batman to his moral limits. He exists as a narrative foil and reflection to what Batman could be, how far Batman could go. This is like a very simple theme, the whole feeling of, I feel like we could do this forever. That was a bad Heath Ledger, that was closer to Nixon, but I apologize for that. But, thank you for getting it. But he is a perfect reflection for Batman as a character when he owns. Joker is allowed to go into as much comic mischief or be as smart as necessary. It's just an advantage of, if you are a villain, you are usually inherently smarter than everyone else in the party in your specific narrative. You are the smartest guy, you control the plot, you are allowed to essentially be the best at everything at all times, and the Joker is very good at that because he's also funny and scary sometimes, unless he's written poorly, which is often. And the Joker is always allowed to make the first move by necessity. Batman is a reactionary character, he practically begs for a timely reaction. You're allowed to get essentially the perfect framing for whatever climactic showdown, whatever development that you want. And when we translate that into video games, he's a little less than that. So Joker can't naturally be used to his advantages. You have his NES boss fight, where he's just a man with a giant gun who shoots lightning at you for some reason. This is based on the Jack Nicholson version. I don't know why he shoots lightning, because he's video game boss. Or when they ran out of things to do with him in Arkham Asylum, and was like, what if the final boss was Bane for the third time, but also he was the Joker? And also you stop fighting him so that you can fight Mooks again 3 times. It's not a good fight. I don't like it. But it's just because in a game, the primary idea is to have Batman as a power fantasy character. You can take that away from the player narratively, but you can't take away the control of, this is Batman. You are supposed to feel strong because you're Batman. The game is granting you the feeling of being Batman. You don't like that meme quote from everyone saying, he really makes you feel like Spider-Man. No, it's got a point. And unfortunately, the Joker is not a character that particularly works as a video game boss unless you really twist what he needs to be. Now, that's not to say there aren't good interpretations of the Joker in video games. I think that this game, Batman: The Enemy Within, this was the last game released by Telltale before they went bankrupt. The guys who did the Walking Dead point-and-clicks, the Sam & Max games. I think this is an excellent interpretation of the Joker because he's essentially your friend, and instead of, Clementine will remember that. It's John, who looks exactly like the Joker, will remember that. And you're like, I don't want to be the guy who makes the Joker. I can fix him. And then you sit there and go, wait, that's the Joker. I can't fix the Joker. So, let's move on, as we discussed, to villains as bosses. So, villains are meant to challenge a player's sensibilities. They limit what you should do, and when you overcome that, it should feel good. Just to put in a simple perspective there, Bowser over here, not exactly what people would call a difficult boss. However, he is, like, the second enemy in the game that you can't beat by jumping on, and then you try to jump over him, and he jumps at you. And you're like, oh, that's not fair. I wasn't expecting that. Inherently, you get better. Same with fighting game bosses like Akuma. They do things that feel unfair. and yet you're able to eventually conquer that. You're able to feel your skills slowly begin to improve. The longer you spend with the boss, the better it feels when you finally overcome them. It sells them as a credible threat because you feel it in your soul. You know, you can always have narratively bosses or villains that are like, yeah, they're the baddest dude on the whole planet. They burned down 8 villages and ate 20 babies and kicked 2 dogs on the way out. But if you don't see that, if you don't feel that, you don't get it. Video game bosses have the advantage of, if you're fighting Captain K. Rool for like 8 years, and you just slowly get better, and you eventually beat him, you feel like, oh, I really hate that guy. He bullied me really good. And finally, the boss becomes a part of your story. You took this fella or fellas down. You are better than your friends that didn't. You are the greatest. The best part about video games is that we get to put parts of ourselves into it. When we beat these bosses, like, look at Ornstein and Smough and Demyx there. Those guys are losers. They have no story relevance whatsoever. They are just kinda there. And yet people will remember these guys forever because this man said dance, water, dance like 80 times, and we never shut up about it, and you're like, you're ingrained as part of me forever. You live through me now. But my friends couldn't beat him? That means I'm objectively better than them. You know? So, moving on from that, we have villains as foils. Villains can easily contrast the overall thesis of your piece, offering a counterpoint that you yourself get to beat into submission. I am going to spoil Final Fantasy VI right here, because I think he's an excellent example. So, just like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by reflect? Well, hang on. His boss music is heating up. Thank you. Alright, so this is Kefka. This is the main villain of Final Fantasy VI. You may know him as a clown, or you may know him as this weird angel god that you fight through Paradisio. Kefka from Final Fantasy VI is a silly little mini-boss who ends up betraying the supposed villain and becomes the big bad guy, very famously. He then blows everything up, really good. He tries to take everything away from your characters. Famously, in Final Fantasy VI, midway through the game, this guy blows up the entire world and leaves you stranded and without any sort of hope. It is one of the most famous moments in early video gaming of a video game villain, where essentially they win midway through. And this is like if Bowser Jr. ended up doing that. This is like, oh, there's a goofy little guy, and suddenly he became God and won. Kefka tries to get you to give up. All of your characters in the game, narratively, are put at their lowest point. By playing this game, you prove his nihilistic desire wrong. This world matters because you care about it. And then you jump on him to death. You personally are as much of a hero in this game as Terra or Celeste. By you playing this game, this guy going, I blew up the world, nothing matters, haha, idiot. You go, no, things matter. I care about this game. I care about this world. This resonates with me. And you're allowed to put yourself into those sort of shoes. You're allowed to feel like the hero as much as anyone else. And I think that's cool. I think that's something really unique to video games that they do like. So anyway, here are a couple of other examples of guys who I think are really good foils to it. You got Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, you've got the King from In Stars and Time, and you've got Culprit from Persona 4. We will not say anything more other than that he is the culprit from Persona 4. So, with that note, hey everybody, it's minigame time! I need one volunteer! Anyone want to volunteer for a minigame? Anyone really excited. Right there! Come on up to the mic! That mic right there. That one right there. No, I promise there are prizes. I like prizes too. Okay, he's not vibrating. What's your name?
My name is Nick.
Nick, pleasure to have you. Alrighty, welcome to our show. Here's what your task is to rank the following villains from most evil to least evil. 1 to 5, that's all you gotta do. Feeling up to it?
This is purely objective, right?
Absolutely. Everybody in this room will objectively rate you.
Alright.
However, I'm only giving you these villains one at a time. You must decide their placement the moment they appear. No takesies backsies. I'll give you time to think, but if I give you Bowser and you put Bowser at number 4, and the other villains are a stick of gum and a cute rabbit, one of those is more evil than Bowser, according to you.
Yes.
Alright, I will give you background information on these villains, but I'll only give you one. You have to answer, any one of these you can go, I don't know who the heck that is, but I'm only giving it to you in advance once. Okay?
I'm ready.
So, let's go. This is Dr. Wily.
Oh, I like Dr. Wily.
I like Dr. Wily too. He's really mean. So I need a
Wily.
1 to 5, or I can give you background information on him.
I will say 3.
Number 3, right in the middle. Alright, good. Safe place. Alright. Let's go over his crimes. He tried to take over the world in between 11 and 23 times. We're not sure what's canon. He kidnapped a child and of another scientist so that scientist could be the fall guy. He invented a robot virus that almost wiped out every robot in the world. And he invented a second robot virus that caused war for hundreds of years after his death.
Do we really care about robots, though? They're not alive.
My guy, Mega Man X, has words for you. Alright, so that is that. This is Luca Blight. He is from Suikoden.
I have no idea who he is. And
it's a great game. I think it's getting a re-release coming up this year. PS1 RPG.
I played Ayuden Chronicles, which I've heard is like this game. But,
Very nice. I can give you a number, I can give you his background info.
Background info, please.
Okay, here are his crimes. He instigated a war by framing another side out of personal hatred. He started a war just because he didn't like a country and could. He made a villager oink like a pig and then killed them, saying, "Die, pig," which was really mean. And then he sacrificed an entire village to a magic rune fueled by pure hatred to cause an endless war of destruction and made magic golden wolves. He has a famous quote saying, "It took hundreds to kill me, and yet I killed them all by the thousands."
I like that quote, "Die, pig." I kind of want to give him number 2.
You want to give him number 2?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Luca Blight is at number 2, slightly more evil than Robot War. This is Norm from Crash Bandicoot.
5.
Number 5? Are you
5.
sure?
Yes. Never played the game. He looks wimpy, though.
Yeah, but what if I told you he was an interdimensional mime?
Alright. 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a little standoffish, I guess, and he's good at racing. This is a random boss from Crash Nitro Kart. So, you have number 1 and number 5 left.
Alright.
To put it into perspective.
Most evil.
So, he's kind of just a dude. Your next one. Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Alright.
I see you reading.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I've read the book. I mean...
Oh, okay. It's the same guy, except Harlan Ellison voices him.
I will put him at number 1.
Number 1, alright, let's go over his crimes. He ended the human race except for 5 people. He continually tortured those people that he's keeping alive in an eternal purgatories related to their life sins and insecurities. And he really enjoys doing that. I think that this is a good choice for number 1.
Thank you.
However, whoever is next is your number 5.
It's just going to be a mirror, right? They point at me. And I'm like, it's me. I'm the real villain.
Well, remember, that really slightly annoying mime and Dr. Wily are significantly more evil than this. So this is your number 5. Just to remind you of what he's done, he set up a death game between 15 students while psychologically tormenting them into doing awful things. He did a lot of really bad things. He made a guy into butter once, and that doesn't make the top 10. I hope a high spot is I'm very sorry. All right.
Silly bear.
So, just to remind, number 5 is Monokuma. Number 4 is Norm from Crash Bandicoot. Number 3 is Dr. Wily. Number 2 is Luca Blight. Number 1 is the Allied Master Computer. Did you do good? How'd he do? How would you rate your performance?
3.
A 3? Out of?
10.
10. Alright. Well,
Oh, I love that you have the same exact
I
hat
do.
that I do.
I do. Here. You have a Ganondorf amiibo? Ah. Take it. Sounds good. Alrighty. Now back to the boring part. We're going to talk about villain themes. That's that man from Smash Brothers. Sephiroth. Each villain's theme represents something about them. They click in players' minds to know that something bad is about to go down, or is going down. Unlike movie scores, players directly interact with these themes. You choose whether this song, Those Chosen by the Planet, makes you rush through the environment or slow down and absorb the horror. They encourage emotion, but the effect is uniquely yours. Why villain themes are so good and so strong in video games is that different people can have different emotional reactions to them. A movie score is always looking to give you one specific environment, but whether a villain score in a game motivates you, terrifies you, makes you panic, I'm sure we have all had moments of, oh, the scary monster theme just happened, I am running, oh god, or, oh, I have the shotgun, yay, fun theme. Power-ups, please. To give an example, they can be used in different contexts. You feel their emotion change. For example, this piece, Those Chosen by the Planet, appears in One Winged Angel. Or when Flowey's theme appears in Your Best Nightmare, when you hear that da 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 da, it becomes so mocking and so infuriating, and you hate this man so much in your heart. But it also motivates you because it's in the middle of the weirdest screamo incessant. So, here are just some choice themes from some various games. Hopefully volume is good on this. Another big thing is villains who break the rules. They are allowed to shatter the rules of their video game. A video game sets up basic expectations, where you assume something is going to happen. but then they get you in some way. You cling onto that experience forever, beating them because more cathartic, more meaningful, more legendary. That moment where King K. Rool puts up the fake credits at the end of Donkey Kong Country and kills you for no reason. Like, if that happened to you, you never forget that. That's kind of a mid-boss fight, and that elevates it so strongly. To give you just some basic examples, with Rugal from King of Fighters, reads your inputs and uses the Genocide Cutter, which hits you from wherever on the screen and just beats you. You jump, he hits you, whatever. When you beat that, you feel so good. When Mr. X chases you beyond a single room in Resident Evil 2, and you feel safe because you're into a door, and then you burst through and you're like, ah! Or when John Irenicus summons a bunch of clones without using a spell in Baldur's Gate 2. I was here because I felt a little bit insecure about not putting Western RPG in Europe. And you know, I just feel like there's a lot of solid good that can be done. A lot of good that can be held through breaking rules, a lot of narrative ways to break rules. Where the game continues onward and defeats your expectations. For example, villains are uniquely allowed to break your expectations of what a game is going to be. They completely change the way a game gets to be formatted. Like breaking a game's natural flow. You could have just a general progression for your game, a general idea of how your game is going, and suddenly the villain barges in and completely changes the tone, completely changes the feeling of it. When GLaDOS is like, oh, alright, we are going into the live Android training alley now. And Portal suddenly stops being a game where you can take your time and starts being one where I gotta do this or I get shot. The entire flow changes. They can remove party members from you permanently. It is a massive taboo for games to have someone who you build up for so long as a party member, someone you might have invested experience with, someone you might have put very valuable equipment on that you're very upset to lose if they were to suddenly vanish from your party. And that sticks with you. You remember that. The villain hurt you, not just emotionally, but intrinsically. They take away your ability to play the game for a while. Sometimes you just get locked into the cutscene dimension, or some way where the villain takes away the ability to press a button, and you're like, I like that button. That was a good button. That button's not there anymore for you, buddy. You suck now. And worst of all, they can win. Either they can be completely unbeatable to you, or there's just this overwhelming feeling of they have overtaken the story. They have prevented you from doing the thing that you have wanted to do. And because you're invested in this game, because you care about it, that hurts. That makes them suck so much more. And you love it. And they're great. And it's beautiful, dude. I just like it. So, what have we learned here? Video game villains are uniquely equipped to be the perfect foils, not just for characters, but for players. Other mediums require either some investment in the hero or for the villain to be charismatic outside of being the villain. For games, these guys are reflections of us, the player. We tell a story not around them, but with them. We grow. We become better at games, and we become more invested in stories because of them. And also, they're really strong. Like, look at that. Look at that. This is a small man who looks like an egg. Next to another small man who looks like an egg. Next to Ganondorf and the Lord of the Jet. That's pretty cool. Alright. Does anyone have any questions on villains? Any thoughts? Any favorite villains? This is the open time. Yo, what's up?
What's your favorite villain?
What's my favorite villain? Her right there. Her name is Beatrice from Umaneko. I love her. She has fundamentally changed the way I view fiction. Second place is King K. Rool because he's very funny. Any other questions? Anyone else? You are making me feel anxious. I'm now intimidated. All right. Well, I'll let you develop your questions. I'll let you develop your thoughts. That's fine. Yes, in the back.
What are your thoughts on redemption arcs?
So they have to be done well in general. I do think that there are great ways to redeem a villain. To use the most basic example possible, Shadow the Hedgehog is an excellent redemption arc in Sonic Adventure 2, not the game Shadow the Hedgehog. Let me clarify. No. I'm not going, hey, it's me, the devil. No. Not that guy. But Shadow the Hedgehog as a character, becoming better, facing himself, that sort of thing, I appreciate that. I also appreciate it when villains are unable to complete their redemption arcs, or are like one step away, or fall to their redemption arcs. There is a good character in Persona 5 who does that. I like him a lot. Alright, I got anybody else? Any other questions? Because I do have trivia, but yes.
Which villain angered you the most?
Oh, which villain angered me the most? That's a good... Now, that's a loaded question. Do you mean angered in the sense of... Are you like, go away heat? Or like, ooh, I like you, I hate that?
Ooh, I like you.
Ooh, that's a better one. I really like that. God, what is a good villain from when I got Goth? See, now I'm realizing the questions were a terrible idea because I have to come up with something now on the spot. Dutch. A basic answer is when you play Hades, and Hades fights you, and then you beat him, and then he has a phase 2, and you're exhausted of all your resources, and you die, and you go all the way back, and you scream. That got me real good. That did hit me real hard. Narratively, though, gosh, that's a great question. Good. Because I know that there's an answer, and I will think about it, and it will hit me, and I'll be so upset that I didn't say it in like 20 minutes. And I'll interrupt everything else I'm doing here. I don't know. If you can't tell from the attire, I really like Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Conceptually, the final boss of that game, who I won't spoil, has a really, really strong presence that is like, dang, that's really cool. Same with the final boss of Super Paper Mario. I don't know. I'm very much more of a Scrimblow Bimblow, the beloved Scrunko guy, than I am JRPG McSword guy. But... oh, gosh. Sephiroth did get me back in the day. I feel like that's such a cop-out answer, but he did get me, both in FF7 and Kingdom Hearts. And that's really mean. I'm going to leave it there so I don't drag on. Any other questions? Yes.
So these have been a lot of villains that are like unambiguously bad.
Yes.
What do you think about some more morally ambiguous villains? What are some the most morally ambiguous villains, or even villains that might have been right the whole time, and it turns out you're the villain?
Well, who are you saying here that's right? Who are you making a very brave statement to defend here?
I didn't have one going into it.
That's great. I don't have one coming out of this. The main reason that I didn't put a lot of those villains on there is because I wanted this to be very spoiler-free or spoiler-light, and just by their nature, morally gray villains playing their hands or showing that they were morally gray all along is a spoiler for their games. There are a lot of excellent villains that do that. For example, not knowing the motivations of characters like the Elusive Man in Mass Effect, or the motivations of a character like Magus from Chrono Trigger. Or, again, that one character from Persona 5. And also that character from Persona 5 Royal. Really him. But, like, if I said that out loud, you'd be like, oh, let me look them up. Oh, that would have been nice to know. As someone who was spoiled from the culprit of Persona 4 by a Wikipedia article, I feel immense pain and shame, and I want to make sure that everybody is okay. With that said, no, I do think that morally gray villains have a lot of excellent points in games, especially if you get the chance to control them for even a little bit to get that counterpoint. I think that is beautiful and amazing. But, I don't know. Does that answer it enough, or you want me to give you more?
It's not like I'm not going to go home to my job and say, oh good, now I know the answer about more than ambiguous villains. So you can keep talking as long as you like. There's nobody behind me.
Okay, well, does anyone have any questions? Anyone else? Any questions? Yes!
Have there been any games where you felt did not live up to the film? Like, the film had a really cool concept, but the game did not play with that, or that the game really didn't expound upon the true nature of this film that you felt.
Ooh. Oh, that's a really good one. Which is annoying because now I have to think of a good answer. Because I really appreciate your question. It's super solid. Because now I have to think about games where... You know what? Oh gosh. No, that's the opposite problem. I was thinking games where the villain has such potential and doesn't live up to it. As opposed to a game that is carried by its villain. I think the easy answer for game carried up by villain that doesn't reach its potential is every Danganronpa game. I feel that those games have really, really strong villain writing that kind of just boils down a thematic hole by the end that I'm not super happy with. On the opposite end, I had an idea and I lost it, and that's a shame, because it was really good. Oh, that's right. Villains where I think conceptually you're really good, but you don't go far enough. Most villains in Yakuza not named Goro Majima. I would say just across the board, they have a really strong setup, and then they're despicable human beings, and you really want to get them, and then Kiryu goes, you know, he was actually a really cool guy. You know, when he threw those people at me in the middle of that gunfire, that was actually okay. Because he was really cool and knew about the Yakuza code. Dang. I love Pocket Circuit so much. Alright, any other questions? Anyone else? Alrighty. So that doesn't do it, but I do have a trivia round for everyone. Anyone who is interested in naming villains, schemes, themes, and quotes, that doesn't rhyme, but whatever. Do I have any volunteer to come on up? There are prizes involved, I assure you. Right there, come on up! Alright, what's your name, my friend?
I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy, pleasure to have you here. Alrighty, so I have this set of villain sets. I have 5 questions for various villain themes. First round is a quote from a villain. Second round is a theme from a villain. Third round, I will describe their plot to you, what they did as a scheme. Fourth round is a slightly harder song. And then fifth round is a quote that I have run through Microsoft Sam.
Okay.
So, here are your potential choices here. You have bad dads, villains who are dads who are bad. You have clowns, villains who are clowns or jesters. Criminals, villains who are career criminals primarily. Thugs, gangsters, mean people, technically pirates. You have robots, villains who are royalty, villains who are kings, dukes, queens, that sort of thing. Scientists, villains who do science and usually have doctor in front of their name in some way. Or suits, villains who are just a dude in a suit. Those are your options. Which one would you like?
I like suit.
All right. So So we are going right into the suit round. This is round 1 for suits.
This is
I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture.
I have no idea. And I'm going to feel really bad, too.
No,
after.
it's okay. That's cool. So this, I'll give you some hints, Chris. This is a villain from about 2007, something called an immersive sim type of shooter. The game takes place under the ocean.
Oh, this is BioShock's villain, isn't it? But I don't know his name.
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I'll give it to you. Yep.
I'm blanking super
In
hard
the
on it.
interest of continuing the round. No problem, no problem. Here is a theme for you.
That sounds so familiar.
It
but
is. Anyone who has played this game thinks this song is incredibly annoying.
It sounds annoying, and I can't place it, though.
It is from a famous Japanese RPG.
Because there's not 100 of those.
It is more famous than the hundreds of those, I assure you.
I feel like it's a Final Fantasy boss, but I can't think of who.
Yeah, I'll accept a piggyback if anyone wants to help him out. Go for it.
Come on, anyone?
Anyone? Come on, this man's dying over here. All right, I will call it. That is Rufus Shinra from Final Fantasy VII. So you got.
I knew it was Final Fantasy. I couldn't place.
You got one. Who's your favorite villain?
Who's my favorite villain?
Who's your favorite villain?
Favorite villain of all time. Oh, this is a tough one. This is why I asked you this too. I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out, but it actually probably is the culprit from Persona 4.
Culprit from Persona 4?
And I know that's a bit of a cop-out because you didn't want to give away their spoiler, but I really thought they were well built.
Oh, I agree entirely. All right, I'm going to draw them for you in 20 seconds here. All right. There we go. That's your prize for getting one right.
Awesome.
Also my business card. Do I got anybody else? I made a lot of these. Right there, come on up.
Oh, hello.
What's your name, my friend?
Vishnu.
Sorry?
Vishnu.
Vishnu. Pleasure. All right, so you can continue on the suit round if you feel like it, though they do get harder. But we also got scientists, royals, robots, criminals, clowns, and bad dads.
Oh, it's a tough one. Let's see. I'm between. What do you think? All right, why not? Bad dads.
Bad dads, you got it. All right, bad dads for 100.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Oh, it's Dracula from
But enough
Castlevania.
talk. How
You
about
got
you?
it. All right.
Thank you, meme.
Not bad, not bad.
I like to thank internet memes for my ability to recognize that.
Sorry, what was that?
I'd like to thank internet memes for my ability to recognize
Oh,
that.
I'd love to thank I Want to Be the Guy specifically for that for me. All right, here is number 2.
No, if you want it, another one awaits you. Don't you give up on it. You bust the head that feeds you.
I'm going to have to piggyback.
All right, I'll accept an audience answer. Go ahead.
Honestly, I only know that because Family Jewels did a very good cover of
That is true.
a song from, I think it's Final Fantasy X.
You got it. That is the villain from Final Fantasy X. I will take it.
Thanks.
All right, that's 2 on the board for you. Let's see how we do. Bad Dad number 3. Okay, so hear me out. Instead of making a zombie virus, what if I tweaked it to make it a big tentacle mutant virus? What do you mean the military's going to intercept it? What do you mean they're trying to shoot me? Oh no, now I am a tentacle monster. Well, my daughter is a viable carrier. Might as well go after her.
All right, this sounds like either Resident Evil or Day of the Tentacle. I've not played any of those, but let's see. Definitely sounds like something out of a Resident Evil plot. But
I'll give you it's a Resident Evil game.
all right,
I'll give you 3 guesses. Give me the number.
all right. So let me think. I know that. I'm not sure what one's about. 2 is the one with the. Oh no, 3 is the one with Mr. X or something. No,
3 is the one with Nemesis.
So, yeah, that's what I meant. Whatever. The big scary guy.
Yes,
whatever.
yes, he's a scary man.
Probably not him. Oh wait, no, that's the one with not Village. The one before that. Is it? No, wait. There was a bunch of crazy, scary tentacle monsters in the one, right?
The issue is Resident Evil has a lot of tentacle monsters.
Too many tentacle monsters. I know there's like one with like a lady and the dude's trying to rescue his wife.
That's 8 or 7.
8 or 7. I'm just gonna guess Village.
Village is not Village.
Okay, because I know there's a baby and there's a daughter, so
Yes.
a daughter.
It is not. It is one that was either made or remade recently. I'll give you one more guess.
Okay. 3. 2. That was my third guess. 2. Here's my third
You
guess.
know, I did say 3 guesses.
Woo! Technicalities.
You know,
Breaking the rules. Breaking the
That's
rules.
on me. All right.
Thanks.
Bad Dad 4, let's go.
All right, let's go.
All right.
I should have gone with clowns.
Likely. This is a fighting game villain.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. That definitely fits. Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to match like the theme with like what game has like the fighting game, that kind of a song. All right, so what has that kind of bombastic? Definitely not Street Fighter. I don't think their themes are that bombastic. I don't know. Guilty Gear comes to mind. That's pretty wacky, and I think it might fit there. Let's see what else. I'm not much of a fighting game buff besides Smash Brothers, but it's definitely not that. So let's see. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna guess Guilty Gear.
I'm sorry, that is the theme of Heihachi Mishima from Tekken.
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 Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I recognize it now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No problem. You did very well.
Yeah, I'm happy. Thanks.
No, I'm happy with your performance. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. Here. What do you want? You want Eggman or a hat?
I'll go back.
All right. Go ahead, take the Wild D hat. All right. I'm putting Eggman on the table for you. All right. Oh, I still got 10 minutes left. Anyone else? Anyone else want to come up? Let's go. New world. What's your name, my friend?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. That's right. You said so. I have a terrible memory. So we got clown, criminal, robot, royal, and scientist.
I think the only one I'm going to have a slightly decent shot at is scientist.
Scientist, you got it. All right, here's it. This is a quote from a scientist from a game.
Better luck next time, Fox Boy.
Dean Bristow as Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman.
You got it. Now answer this. Is he the best Eggman?
Ooh.
There is a right answer.
Now I got to give it to Mike Pollock, just on the brevity, and he did give that much more comical edge to Sonic's a little bit more brash side. So I know it's probably not the answer you wanted.
I disagree with your answer, but I accept it. Pollock is probably my number 3, behind Bristow and Baldry.
Which one does Baldry?
He is the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's the penis guy.
Okay. Oh, I could have also said Jim Cummings from Sonic Sat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, round two.
Okay.
Round two.
I have no idea.
This is the boss of a platforming game. This is the third game in the series, and he is the final boss of all of them.
It's not Dr. Wily.
It is not Wily, no.
Crash Bandicoot, maybe?
What's his name?
The only one I can really remember is Entrance or Entropy. Or Dr. The guy with the black hair and the frizz coming out the sides. Dr.
Yes.
I'm gonna kick myself after you say it.
I'll allow you to ask the audience once.
Can anyone help me out here? Neocortex.
Dr. Neocortex is
Dr.
correct.
Cortex, okay.
All right, scientists, round 3. Let's go. I'm going to kidnap the 2 enemies who have foiled my plans and place them in a large robot, using their brain waves to fuel it as the leader of my new army while I plot from the sidelines behind this Wizard of Oz curtain. Also, I use my magic that I suddenly have to seal the region's local deity.
I almost want to say that's like Earthbound. That's the only thing that's close.
That is not Earthbound, but I will offer a hint. This villain is a scientist in only this game, may be better known for being royal. It is a well-known villain. I will give it that. This variation, not as much, but the villain himself, fairly well known. Not coming to you?
Not coming to you.
All right, that is Baron K. Rulenstein from Donkey Kong Country 3.
I have not played any of the Donkey Kong Country games, so
You break my heart, my friend.
I know I have.
You shatter it to pieces. That's my entire identity. Did you not read the first slide where I said Donkey Kong taught me how to read?
I must have come in 2 minutes too late.
That's so sad. You want a figure of Eggman?
That's science for science sake.
Absolutely. All right. All right, I got enough time for maybe 1 or 2 more. Anyone else want to come up? I got a couple prizes. I don't want to fit them in my suitcase.
Wait, prizes for what?
Trivia.
Oh, no.
Are you sure?
No, I use Wikipedia for free.
Anyone? Even a collective audience favorite. I have to kill 7 minutes somehow. Yes, come on up. All right, what's your name, my friend?
My name's Anthony.
Anthony. Pleasure to have you here. All right, so I have for you, we have clowns, we have robots, we have royals. Or I can give you, and we have criminals.
I'll go for the robots.
All right, let's do robots. Number 1.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
What is GLaDOS from Portal 1?
GLaDOS is correct. Let's go. All right, robot round 2. This is a robot's theme. I'll give him a friend, if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Small characters, blue, Smash Brothers. Has a gun for an arm.
That is the series.
This is the villain.
Oh,
This is the villains panel, sir. He has a really bad cold that makes him one for like 8 games.
So it sounds like Mega Man.
It is a villain in the Mega Man cinematic universe.
There's
In some Mega Man game.
There's a lot of robots in the Mega Man universe.
I will give you, it is a main villain, not like Plant Man or something.
So no, not any of the mini bosses.
I'll give you one more hint. It is not from the classic Mega Man series.
Not the classic ones, from something else. I can't say I remember. Besides the scientist, any Mega Man villain names.
Can you give me the series? Whichever spin-off Mega Man series it is. Something like Star Force, Battle Network, X, those Legends.
Battle Network was the only Mega Man game I really played.
I'm sorry, that was Sigma from Mega Man X. Alright, who's your favorite villain? Got one right, that's worth a stupid drawing.
That would be Doctor Nefarious from Ratchet and Clank.
That's a good one! That's a really good one. Alright, I got 20 seconds. Why are you timing me? No, now I feel the pressure.
11, 10, 9,
No, this was a terrible idea on my end.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I wanted to draw him saying the word Lawrence. It was too much. There you go. There's your prize. All right, I got time for one more. Anyone? Last one. Whole audience? Yeah. Let's go. All right, guys. What category? You got royal, you got criminal, and you got clown. That's what I thought. All right. First quote. That's your quote. You got it. Second. You got it. All right, third one. I'm going to develop mind-controlling vegetables in the caveman dimension to fulfill a dark prophecy as I brainwash a green-clad hero to fuse with me so I can rule over dimensions. It's not a Zelda game, but the character he's fusing with does start with L. It is a Nintendo villain. No, that guy takes Mario's body. That's a different plumber. That one's right. Yeah, you got it. That is Dimentio from Super Paper Mario. All right, and here's where it ends. That is Clown Piece, yeah. You got it. That is from, do I pronounce it Toho, I believe? Yes. Yes. All right, and then this is, I'm so glad we got to one of these.
Oh, wait a moment. You don't really want to shoot me, do you? If you do, I'll die, you know.
Once again.
Oh, wait a moment. You don't really want to shoot me, do you? If you do, I'll die, you know.
Wait a moment. You don't really want to shoot me. If you do, I'll die, you know. Is from an action game on the PlayStation 2 that has been re-released several times. Oh, we're going. It is not Twisted Metal. A man looked at the room very scarily at me, so we're going to get going here. So, I'm going to get 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, that is Jester from Devil May Cry 3. I don't really know how to award the audience a prize. Was it a prize? Did you guys have fun? I'm glad you had fun. All right. Quick, can anyone tell me the name of the villain I'm dressed as? Yes, cool. You want this? Here's Heihachi. You can have him. All right. And that should do it. Thank you guys. If you have any further questions, I'll be right out there. Thank you for coming.